Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing on this simple Tuesday? It was something. I think we're at a reality where I think the reality is tonight when we are actually saying this. If you do think it's bad, I actually want you to just say why you don't think it. Why you think it was bad. None of this. I just want you to be thorough. I think in reality, depth is correct, and my co-host was absolutely spot on. But I do agree. Like we should be deciphering what is good and what isn't, and if you value it, because that's something that I think we're going to ask at the very end. I'm going to leave that till the very end as a separate question. Do you value what you're watching, or do you think it's not the value for you? Stussy, hello, good to see you. So the reason is bad because they know the results, or they think we know the results. Well, from what you're bringing in, results certainly add half of the argument. Who cares what he said? Ignore it. What he said, ignore it. Who cares? He said what he said. He got a reaction out of it. That's a reasonable argument there, Stussy. That's a reasonable defense line. I think that's ultimately fair. And that's also a good projection. So I actually get what you're saying. And I think Stussy is actually a more valid point of disagreement than anything else. I don't care about any of these matches. All I care about, I hope you're retained. The thing is I actually don't care about some of these matches, but I won't say I don't care about all of them, because then I would be lying. And I value truth. You know? Hey, Nippin. Yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think that's something that I actually would understand. That's something I would stand on. And I think that's actually a more precise conclusion, funnily enough, of why I'm here. I'm here for tonight. I'm here to ask questions rather than give you answers. It's all on you guys tonight. See, the funny thing is, and I've been thinking about this. No, it's not a Q&A show. Not precisely a Q&A show. It's still a review. But the review involves questions that we need to try and answer. But if you're going to just blame the booker more than the talent, then you're part of the problem, Jonathan. The funny thing is, I've been dwelling on this for the past couple of days since I've last spoke to you guys. Truth be told is a booker cannot control how you are in the ring. A booker can't control how you deliver a promo. A booker cannot hold your hand whilst you're sitting there. But what the booker can do is, and is expected to, is give you the way to go. And Catherine is 100% spot on with what I'm saying, that this is correct. It's 100% 50-50. A booker's got so much that they can provide, but if the talent can't do the job, the talent has to go. And I'll give you one example. I'll give you one example of someone who has odd booking, but is actually making the most of it because of the reality they're being dealt with. Chelsea Green is another one, but if you want to look at how things change in a dynamic and how that's supposed to come across, it's this woman right here. Because what you have really determines what you can get. And that's what's weird, because I've actually went back, and I know I was quite critical of these promos, mostly because I just didn't have the time and the interest for them. But I've went back, and I'm actually going to be fair. And this is where I'm going to say this about getting questions, and then maybe we get the answers. And this is a genuine question right now. So here it goes. Why is no one else challenging themselves to do something the way that she is? Put up one more time. That's the question. This isn't a taking the piss question. This isn't me writing some people off. This is honestly, this is a straightforward, real question, because it ties into several parts of this show. They try to, Matthew. They're failing at that with some people. The question is right on here, Jonathan. This banner is your question. LA Knight isn't buried, though. He's actually where he's supposed to be. This is another. This is the point I was. This is the answer I was looking for. This is the answer I was looking for. Well done, Catherine. You've nailed it. Breaking the norm. Fear. You know that fear is a real emotion? Fear is an emotion that we all have. Fear is something that can actually control your actions. Fear is a way that, and it's a tool that you can use to get ahead and also fall further back. You want me to give you an example of where fear is? Right there. Him and him. They don't have to prioritize wrestling. If they're not a wrestling company, then fine, that's their call. There's other companies that are going to put wrestling first, and that's completely fine. That's valid. That's their means. That's their formula. That's their entity. That's what I value. Everything's a story. Your life is a story. Now, before people go, oh, that's a before anyone tries to say, oh, that sounds a bit like an offer, or that sounds a bit like precise verbiage. It's not actually. It's actually very accurate. Now, here's the trick. And this is where it comes down to. Naomi was afraid she was going to fall far behind because of her peer group are already doing enough. Yet she bet on herself to make that one little promo. And since then, she's actually stealing the attention in the best way. Now, to answer this question, I mean, I think you can pretty much tell who that is. Era-defining guys. Their last ever match together. My edit. My question is right here. As I said, it's on screen. Catherine already answered it perfectly. So here's the next part. And this is still before we even get into the review. We haven't reviewed yet. Actually, they're the two most defining stars that this business needed at the right time. Nothing to do with egos. Although both of them are quite egocentric. But this is another great point. Has he had a great match? No. He doesn't necessarily have bad matches either. No one's brought him up though, Jonathan. He's not even related to the conversation yet. He's not even related to this point. But I don't think, even though myself, I don't particularly like Dominic Mysterio, but Dominic Mysterio doesn't necessarily have bad matches. He doesn't have great matches. He just has matches. What gets him invested is just his heritage. You buy into which side is he going to choose. He still doesn't have a clue. I don't think he does. He actually works a lot more than you think. Which might shock you. Like, it will really shock you. This is true. This is why it's very hard to... If you look at major events, who's in them, who's not in them, it is very, very hard to keep a crowd if you lose them. And before anybody even dares to say they haven't, every company loses fans at the very start, but they're not irredeemable. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to turn it around. It is hard, but it's not impossible. But HBK was right, because he also had to follow a first match before. Really hard. So this show has Bayley versus Liv Morgan. All right. Karrion Kross or Jesus versus AJ Styles, and we've got Gunther segments, a segment involving the main event of night one, and we've got Logan Paul advertised, and we've got Paul Heyman sitting in his suit, because that's all he is now. Okay. He certainly is. The only thing is it doesn't come across as genuine from Booker T, because everyone knows how much of an asshole he is. Hello, Fernando. How are you, sir? I've got a question for everybody, and I'm saying this in the greatest respect, and I want people to be honest. What did you like from this show? Don't need to name 5 things. You don't need to name 3 things. Give me one thing, even if it was something very quick. Straight answer in, we've got Penta. Alright. Why? Thanks for giving us your comment as well. Appreciate that. And Nippon, another time, man. This isn't a football channel. I said good things. That El Grande Americano, I don't know if people actually think that's a good thing or not. You were at Raw last night. Ooh, okay. Tell me, what dark matches were on last night? I want to know. You enjoyed it? Why did you enjoy it specifically? Okay, so you got right to the very end. That segment was 20 minutes long. Just if anyone wanted to know, of course, that was 20 minutes. Depends on what you're asking, guy, because that doesn't make any sense. Eric, as in the War Raiders, was in singles action on a dark match. Interesting. I'm assuming El Grande won with his diving headbutt. Kaiser, though, if he's getting a match, fair enough. They had something for him and they blew it. Here's a fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not a joke. Ludwig Kaiser got shafted from the Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania. If I have to tell you, then you won't figure out the answer. Remember, I can't give you all the answers, but I can change the questions. Figure it out and give me the answer. Yeah, it was a speed match. Kaiser won. Okay. Kaiser spent the whole match point at the WrestleMania sign and being pissed. See? Where are the ladders, though? That's an even better question. Nippon, you did not upset me. Don't worry. If you want to be honest in terms of who's got the bigger ego, it's probably Fernandez. Out of the two of them, it's probably Fernandez. It's not always a bad thing. It is about Raw. But which part? Most specifically, if you realize what I'm asking, it ties into what this show's all about. This isn't just a review. This review, look at the title of this show. What does the last part of the title say? And then you'll get the question that you really want to ask me, and then you'll really get the answer. Once you have the question, ask it. Trust me, guys, you will figure out the real question once you look at it. There you go. So Catherine has confirmed already for you guys. What is its worth? So here's the big question. I said it to you right near enough at the very start. What is the value of Monday Night Raw to you? Because what that value is will determine if you are going to like A, this show, B, this weekend, and then C, next Monday. You grasping what I'm saying now? Yeah, if it's all about Rhea Ripley, then I'm all about that too. The question is right there. Therefore, you cannot ask the question. The value of Raw to me in a scale is about 2. Excellent. Now, further that answer. Why is it a value of 2? So Catherine is starting to get it. And I think if you look at her, what Catherine's just said, guys, you'll get the question. trust me, this is not a game. This is not a trick. This is not me trying to wind you up. Even though I do that brilliantly anyway. There's a real point behind this. Serious point. No. That's totally different. That will be on the preview show, however. Okay, there we go. So we're starting to get somewhere. So this is what Raw means to you. It's not as high because one thing isn't as prioritized as the way you would like. Or it's not as delivered in the way that you would want it to be. You see where I'm going with this now? Stussy, I might just have to invite you on this show one time. Because you've literally just nailed it, my friend. So now I'm going to ask Stussy the question. So Stussy, this is for you to answer and you alone. If I had to offer you the final week of the WrestleMania build from 2007, or the final week of WrestleMania this year, forget the WrestleMania event itself. So forget WrestleMania 23. Just the Raw, the ECW, and the SmackDown. Because it was 3 shows back then, just like now. Hello, James. How are you, my friend? Me, partially, not so much either. So, Stussy, this is the question. I'm going to offer you WrestleMania 23, Raw, ECW, SmackDown before the show. Or I'm going to offer you this week's events. Which one to you are you taking at face value and why? And which one do you value higher? This is for Stussy only. Because then I'm going to do one for each of you. And you guys are going to prove a point. And you're already proving it without even knowing it. Okay. You want to be able to give you emotion. All right. That's fair. So I'm going to give you 3 promos. The AJ Styles one kind of is a good segment. So I'm going to give you 3 promos, and I want you to tell me if you've got emotion out of them or not. Io Sky's promo in Japanese. Bianca Belair's promo about why her backstage promo that she spoke about, she's gone to WrestleMania and she's proved a point. Or the Naomi backstage promo from 2 weeks ago. No, I'm not asking you not to care about the match. You've already debunked the problem. You're already debunking the problem without me giving you the question. I've just gave you 3 promos that all have emotion. And I want you to tell me which one has the most emotion. Is it A, Io Sky, B, Bianca Belair, or C, Naomi? Give me the answer. I'm throwing it on you guys now. Like, this is not just a one-way show now. And Stutzy, thank you for your honest answer. They were much more insightful. But thank you for your honest answer. Yes, I agree. It's still to this day one of the best matches he's ever had. See, this is why I know that you're not telling the truth. Fun fact. Well, actually, it's not a fun fact, it's a true fact. Cena's best ever matches are the match with WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels, his AJ Styles match at SummerSlam, and his match with Kurt Angle at Unforgiven. She does work better in her native language, but she also puts in broken English really well, and that's what brings the emotion. Bianca's is very insightful when you catch on to it, and the third one, Naomi, really shows that she's actually been underutilized all along. What did I say about the Cody Rhodes promo a couple of days ago before my internet decided to be a prick? Correct, Stussy. What did I say about the Cody Rhodes promo involving the WWE titles? What did I specifically say? Yes, she does work better in her native language. She's more comfortable. Something that people should actually lean into a lot more. Fun fact, Nakamura's best promos were when he was actually allowed to just be specific about his Japanese. It's reality. It's not even that hard. Here's the thing, and it's actually the most simple concept you'll ever see. Relatability. And if you want further evidence, just ask Matt. He has to do watch-alongs for British wrestling. And British guys, when they talk on promos, we aren't that great. Alright, I'll remind you. In fact, I wonder. You can't get busted sharing a YouTube video on here, can you? If it's my own video. I've never done that before. So I can play a clip from my own YouTube video right here, right now. Okay, 1 second. Oh, I can get busted. That is crap. Oh, it looks like I'm just going to have to do it this way then. Let's see. Fucking hell. Luckily, I've got this then. 1 second. I'm going to come back to the European Tour in a minute because the European Tour adds a point to my pain. This right here is what I said. Not Jay White's body, so Catherine don't get any ideas. Now, before anyone has a go at me, I'm being very fair when it comes to that Cody Rhodes promo. I am not bullshitting. This part right here. You know what's funny? I know we said not that long ago that we would have liked the enjoyment of Room 1 is fine. See, when you look at value, I stand by this. And this is something I'm going to say. They had the right they had the right pay-per-view. And I'm not joking, by the way. This is me being truthful. They had the right promo at the wrong time. And guys, please do hit that like button. They had the right promo and they didn't have it at the right time. That energy right there was lost. And it's a shame, because that's the best promo that Cody Rhodes has ever done as WWE Champion. And if you want to argue that, please do. Because for me, it's 100% fact. What makes matters worse, there's going to be zero Rocket Mania as well. Monday Night Raw means to me emotion, being a good character, and making me believe in your promos. Fair. So let's have a look at believing in your promos. By looking at this, the European tour failed. So you want to make us believe in your promos. So let's review the very first promo of the show. Gunta, your world champion, in the ring. Had two contradictory lines. One was great. The other, not so much. The Raw Consolation Champion, exactly. Now, actually, it's actually three lines. And I'm going to say it to you word for word. And I want you to tell me which one is the one that actually saves Gunther and which one fails Gunther. And then which one is right in the middle. I didn't believe he was angry either. I believe that he was, I would say, frustrated in a confused way. A confused frustration. So here we go. I want you to tell me which one actually doesn't help him, which one helps him, and which one is in the middle. So this is quote number one. At the end of the day, the bell has to ring. When that happens, you still can't lace my boots, and I will put you down for the fourth consecutive time. Statement number two. 2 weeks ago, when I took a bath in your brother's blood, I was in full control and I loved it. And the third quote, thank the Lord I was in control 2 weeks ago, because if I wasn't, I would have drowned you in Jimmy's blood. Which one helps him? Which one fails him? Which one is in the middle? Let me hear it, guys. Don't worry. You're not being marked. This isn't a test. But there is a right answer. The bell has to ring helped. The other two are there, but one of them really does not help him at all. Which one? One of them really does not help Gunther here in the worst way. So again, someone's failed there. So again, Guy, you loved it, but you need to still answer the question. That's fair. I'll allow that. This right now is an unbiased. This is an unbiased take. Funny thing is, I've watched Gunther since he was in the UK independent scene before he got to NXT UK. This guy can't talk for the life of him. It's not his fault. He just can't. But even someone who can't talk has something good in them at some point. So here's the thing. This show is about showing what its worth is all about. What does Gunther's promo and Cody's promo from last week on SmackDown have in common? What do they have in common? Before you ask, yes, they have something in common. Because this will then allow us to move to the next segment. There is a real fascination, Stussy. I see why you would think that. I can categorically tell you the crowd will survive for some time before they realise actually maybe we were wrong after all. But this is where I have to put a little stifler on people, and they're not going to like this part. Even when the crowd starts to back off, they're not taking that title of it. Not enough. He didn't show enough. If you actually listen to his promo again, he isn't actually showing it fully. He's showing something else. He's actually showing something that he should have been shown since the first time this match got announced. Oh yeah, don't worry. Him coming through the crowd is cringe. It's also one of the worst entrances I've ever seen. It's overdone, and it reeks of crap. Yep, that's a very good point. And this is what ties into the common point between him and Cody Rhodes. Don't worry, I got that. Hold on. There we go. Don't worry, I got you. There we go. We're fine. Good. still not answering the question, though. But here's the thing: shades or no shades, he still is Goofy. I wouldn't be surprised if he is Goofy from the Mickey Mouse franchise as the next one. Or maybe he's more like Pluto. He's a dopey shit too. But here's the thing, and this is what makes it worse. Oh, it was a Mickey Mouse promo. I mean, Jey Uso does have Mickey Mouse tattoos as well. What does Gunther and Cody Rhodes promos have in common? They're all mistimed, energetic performances. The funny thing is more people are more invested in one half than the other. Yeah, and people are going to say, of course, that it's story related, but not for Gunther when it takes off. Ah, see, you can't help yourself. I knew that was coming. Well, I don't know, mate. You forgot Sting, you forgot James Storm. They still shade for the bill. How are you, Zodiac? How you doing, Philip? Hands up if you like Bailey versus Liv Morgan. Don't lie. Hands up, and not because of who's got the bigger ass. Just answer the question. And who noticed how many botches that Liv Morgan made? Don't worry, we're not going to victimize her. We're just going to ask the question. Who noticed the botches? I can tell you for one of them one of them could have injured Liv Morgan properly. Luckily, it didn't. I'll say it though. Did I like it? No, I absolutely didn't. Liv Morgan's meant to be a heel. And yeah, we go back to the show from Sunday. It was a great show. And a fair critique is 50-50 booking and crowd reactions. Liv Morgan's a heel, but Liv Morgan's getting cheated. It should be. I've already stated this. Funny thing is, this is see if you're obsessed with making history. You had a chance to make the perfect history at WrestleMania over 2 nights. You could have done something that's never happened before. You could have had 5 women's title matches. You could have had 5 title matches for women at WrestleMania. Yep. Instead, they brought it forward. Big mistake. The same pay per view that's not going to be as effective as the first one. I will watch it. I'm eager to see what they do. I already had the plan for it. Could have done it. Could have done it on the overbearingly long pre-shows because now I understand not having Lyra Valkyria on the defender title. She's not that good. She hasn't done anything to excite the crowds. And not having Chelsea Green on either of them. But you're gonna have bloody Chuck Palumbo version 2 defending her tag team titles. Tiger's belief makes no sense to me. Let's look through this match because I need to run. Obviously, this will be wrapped up by 8 o'clock, so we have about 30 minutes. So, Bayley does, of course, lose to not Liv Morgan. Bayley defeats Liv Morgan after Liv Morgan goes to win through cheating, but of course that doesn't help because Lyra Valkyria grabs her legs and stops the Oblivion. But throughout this match, one, the suplex gone wrong. Liv Morgan hits her back on the steel steps, but then the running apron drop kick, she doesn't hit that because she doesn't land the way she wants, and then two, the way she lands, she hits her lower back off the mat. That's your botch. That could have really hurt Liv Morgan. And it's not helpful the way that Bayley actually comes into it. They have made a huge mistake giving Bayley a title shot. Because now it's a will they or won't they feuding over the Intercontinental title while still being tag team champions. I'm sorry, but name me anybody who's going to like that. I don't. I wanted this to be a Mania match, and they've wasted it. Could they have perhaps potentially not? I don't think they were going to do it, although Penta should have been established as a heel by then. Thank you very much for the reactions, guys. I appreciate it. I would have done Penta versus Dream Mysterio at WrestleMania as well. Until I got involved in Intercontinental titles, I was like, you know what, okay. You know they were trying to recreate that collision spot close to the ground, just blocked the hell of it. That's the thing. If you're going to recreate something that's there, make sure it actually works for who's involved in the match. Otherwise, you're setting them up for pain and ridicule. And I know what side I don't want to be on. Now, this is the first time that Liv Morgan has beaten Bayley in one-on-one competition. It gives her some momentum. Hold on. This is the microphone. It likes to turn itself down for some reason. I don't know why it does that. It lowers itself on the application, which I don't understand. That works. As long as it's okay, that's all that matters right now. I've made the noise reduction high as well. Straight down to 92%. Why does it do that? I honestly think, see the way they're going, it wouldn't surprise me if Rey Mysterio actually does lose at Mania. For this reason, Americano goes on enough beach, he gets all the best talents. Like, it seems obvious. I think I know what the problem is. I'm not Mr. Americano. Good old days. Give me 1 second, guys. Alright, sent 100 for now, but that's not the point. Let me fix this for 1 second. See, straight out 93. Okay, 2 seconds. That might work. I say might. You never know. Of course, in action, funnily enough, is Rey Mysterio up against Julius Creed up next. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to come on to that in a minute because it's actually a very fair fight. He is going to get critiqued on that before we wrap up tonight. Like before we get to that point, obviously, because I've only got 25 minutes. But that's actually a fair point. So thanks for bringing that up. The Rey Mysterio versus Julius Green. First of all, his first TV match to single. Fair play to him, because you can tell that singles wrestling isn't for him, and that's not a negative on him, by the way. It's actually a reflection that he's actually so effective as a tag team. Honestly, I think Karrion Kross wants to be Jesus. The way he speaks, he comes across like Jesus, like in that prophet manner. See, it's done it again. It's noticed it. Why? Something is making that happen, and it's pissing me off. I need to do that after this. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Fucking piss take. But yeah, Karrion Kross. He's an odd little fellow. He's an odd little fellow. Uber Eats Jesus is on his way with your pizza. Absolutely. So here's the strange thing, and that's going down again. I don't know why it's doing them. Stupid thing. Here's the contradiction from this whole situation between Gable and this Americano thing. You've got Michael Cole and the clown face beside him, Pat McAfee, who are praising his ability, but then you're not actually doing anything with him to actually take him forward. I'm like, why wouldn't you? Like, I don't get it. Like, Chad Gable, for all his worth, he's actually really good. Like, he's actually better than most people think. It's almost like it's a reflection not to give him anything to justify it, and instead he has to now portray a masked man. You mean there's no audio? You're telling me you can't hear me? I fucking hate this microphone. Okay, if it's back there, that's good. A little bit louder just to help. Oh, that's awful. God almighty, that's horrible, that. There. Okay. So, la last year you don't push Chad Gable when people want him to be pushed. He's now in a position where people actually want to see him, and we're still not getting anything. But you get the enjoyment out of a legend like Rey Mysterio who's actually holding this. People are comparing this to WrestleMania 9, where you're going to get a Chad and Doink, two Doinks in same place. There's no way you can have El Grande Americano and Chad Gable in the same place. Nobody has the same height as Chad. So how they're going to make it work is actually where the question for me is, and this is why it comes. All right, I've had enough. I've had enough. I've turned the microphone off. I'm just having to use my headset for a while. Okay, so if they are going to build up to Americano with Rey Mysterio, quite frankly, Mysterio has to lose. He doesn't need to win at Mania. Now, I'm expecting an Ailey counterpoint, which, if she's still here, cool. I personally think that El Grande Americano has to actually win, and it would actually do him better if you are going to try and. No, I don't like the character per se. I don't like it. But if this is your method to do more for Chad Gable, then he has to beat Mysterio in convincing fashion. Now he might try and slip the metal plate into his eye, which is well through the mask covering the eye, of course, like what he did the past couple of shows. If that's the aim to do so, then perhaps he does it to get caught, and then I don't know, he wins by a roll up. I actually think the best way to beat Mysterio is both of them try to fight for whose mask. The metal plate then just gets he just drops it, it falls to the mat, the referee sees it, and then a quick low blow by Americano and then a roll up on Mysterio. Unless you've got no direction for the Americano character going forward, you either have him beat Mysterio by cheating, or Mysterio just beats him. I don't think it's going to be the latter. I think it'll be the former. I think Americano will beat Chad Gable. Sorry, Americano as Chad Gable as Americano will beat Rey Mysterio on is it the Sunday? Either way, it'll be there. Mysterio at 51, questions need to be asked on him because what the fuck? His age, he should still not be able to do what he can do at his age. So let's look at Karrion Cross's match quickly with AJ. So First of all, Ailey's correct. Bar the fact that Karrion Kross actually was vicious in this match for the first time in fuck knows how long. Yeah, this year he has to lose Stussy. Karrion Kross was extremely vicious in this match and post match, but there is one part that does let him down, and that is the phenomenal forearm. He stands there and just lets it happen. Now he does get dazed a little bit, but even so, like AJ takes so long to deliver this move that, quite frankly, you could have just kicked the ropes. Like, just fucking kick the middle rope. He's gonna lose balance and hurt himself. 1, 2, 3, roll up. This is a thing I have an issue with the phenomenal forearm as a finisher. Can he please just go back to either the calf killer for the for us real fans, or the Styles Clash? The Styles Clash or the calf killer, because the phenomenal forearm shouldn't be a finish, and I don't like that as a finish for this exact reason. It's the reason that Ailey said, because she's not wrong. Now, Karrion peaked when he said TikTok to Roman. Yep. Yeah, it was. Usually is. This move was always a signature elsewhere. It was never a finish for him in New Japan. It wasn't a finish in Ring of Honor. It wasn't a finish in TNA. It was just a move that he used. Ever since it came to WWE, oh, we'll make this a finish now. Why? The Styles Clash is the Styles Clash and the Calf Killers are two of the best moves that AJ's ever done. And you go, we'll make it the phenomenal forearm as a finish. No, you absolute Oompa Loompas. This match wasn't bad, it was just there. AJ just had to be there. Doesn't matter if Will's doing the clash. It makes no difference. Like, here's a funny thing. Chad Gable and Josh Alexander both do the angle slam. They're still both going to be doing it when he eventually shows up in another company. Will doing the Styles Clash doesn't make a difference. He'll still do it. I think they just don't care. I think they're just trying to get away as much as possible. I don't think it's got anything to do with Ospreay. I actually don't think it's anything to do with Ospreay. Because even Pepsi Phil was using certain moves elsewhere that are contradictory to where he is now for the same reason. So that has a means to it. After the match, we get a visit from Logan Paul. Now, again, you knock him out and then do that pulverizer. See, the whole time that you're doing this, I'm punching you in the face, mate. AJ Styles did what Karrion Kross did. He's letting it happen. Time frame. Aesthetically, this move looks good. Fundamentally, it's a problem. Because you've got to rely on people being patient. I don't think this is the right move for him. And I say this, aesthetically, it doesn't work. Oh, James, honestly, don't even get me started on that. It'll probably be I Show Speed as a he's back from the dead. I can't stand how all these YouTubers get these spots they don't deserve. Especially when this match on Sunday actually has a chance to be actually quite good. Obviously, because AJ Styles is in the match. The Bleacher Report here says something really funny. Cross dropped his arms and put them behind his back, not defend himself during Styles' finisher. He said last week he wanted the Phenomenal One to rediscover his evil ways. Unless you bring out the song, it's not going to make much of a difference. Having fired him up, perhaps it was on purpose. No. Purpose or no purpose, Karrion Kross isn't stupid enough to do that. Or have that logic. So it makes no sense. Jey Uso's promo. Okay. I mean, there was some emotion there, apart from his cringe entrance. You deliver a promo in which you've got the champion shook, the champion running for the hills. You've got him on the back burner, and then you still choose to yeet. Absolute weirdo. Yeah, exactly. Like, come at me. Just stand like that. Come at me and hit me. Egging him on. Doesn't though. Now here's one where WWE really steal value from something that I actually like. You had the right chance to show. Oh, James, that would be beautiful. I'll save that for the Dynamite review because it's more related to that. No, Keen, I'm going straight into another stream after this. Sorry. I'm on 2 streams tonight. I'm actually really, unfortunately, busy. There'll be no gaming for me tonight. So, I said what I like about WWE, and this is where they kind of hurt me a little bit. And this is something I have to relay to, and this is truth. I like the Intercontinental title scene. I hate that they're wasting the whole situation. Oh, it's definitely not Saturday, no. It's a bank holiday weekend. Saturday's for something else. Not wrestling, guy, and it's not gaming. It's on my other channel. I haven't decided on a time yet. It'll probably be mid-afternoon, late evening. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But I'll sort it. I need to do that anyway because I've still got stuff to fix for it. And I need to punch a hole in this mic. Okay, so this is the closing part of the show, and then obviously we've got the all right sound. This should have been this segment here, like the Intercontinental title scene. You end it in a DQ win.
Okay. So you've got the Intercontinental title scene, and you've got two of your strongest challengers, and I'm fine with it ending a DQ to an extent. But can you have the DQ just being Dominic Mysterio and not Carlito, who's ruining it every week? The absolute melon has been ruining this whole thing for ages now. And better yet, Balor getting the win has already proved that Balor's not winning on Saturday, whatever day it is, Saturday or Sunday. I haven't seen the order. Well, I've seen the order, can't remember. Balor's automatically out. It's either Breaker or Mysterio. And I think I know who I've put my money on. Bad on bet. A double spear was at least a positive. I'm not denying the spear at all. The spear was great. It just didn't need Carlito. Oh, Judgment Day is no more. The Judgment Day has been sentenced to death. It's gone. It's just a fucking group of wet wipes now. So face value is where it comes to the very end. Punk, Roman, Rollins, Heyman. One final segment. It all comes to blows. Favor this, favor that. I don't need favors. I take what I want. One man gets stomped. One man gets hit with a chair. One man gets speared. Paul Heyman's trying to cuddle every man known to humanity. I also said something positive. I like the spear. We just don't need Carlito. Only one person stood out in this entire segment, and it's the same person who's going to potentially prove me right at Mania. I'm fully locked in now. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Rollins, Heyman after Mania. I'm locked in. Before it gets to Heyman Breaker. But I'm locked in. Rollins, Heyman. So here's the question about what you value. Do you value it based on one moment, one segment, or one show? Because if you're basing it on all three, the value is fluctuating. And this is a question I want you guys to leave tonight asking yourself before we reconcile, specifically for SmackDown on, because we've got SmackDown to review on the Saturday, but I will be here on the Friday. So there you go. But purely for the WWE side for Mania, fundamentally, how you get your value will determine if you're ready for the weekend. Yeah, the same check that's been paid to Rollins as well. Think about it. Think about the show. Tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like. We had about 16, 17 people in here at once viewing, so thanks all for watching. I will be back throughout the week because we still have more to do. We still have more shows to do. Previews, reviews, discussions, gaming, hiding. Our WrestleMania quiz champion is back here on Friday. And before Keen tries to say it, I'm going to tell you now, there's no teams. So if I catch you cheating, you're disqualified. Bet on that. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is the Weekly Steelchair, and I am signing off at 292 subscribers. We've got 8 to go. Could we get eight more before Mania? I don't think so. But we can certainly get more fun from you guys, because that's what matters. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.